All right. It's working. Sweet. This thing was messing with you anyway. My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. In today's video, what I'd like to share with you is an example from a client, well, a new client. We're working on stuff done with you. It's a new mode of chrispalmer.org. We're doing some done with you SEO instead of done for you. This is where client may deploy the plan and utilize our service. However, they do some of the work in order to cut down on costs. So it's awesome. It's a great partnership. It's something that I like to do. I actually learned it from you probably don't remember them. I won't mention it. It's a very old agency. They used to have all the SEO terms back in the day, SEO plus city. They were all over the place. Anywhere I learned this model through them. So we're starting to do it. One of the clients that we'll be looking at today that we're doing some done with you. And we might be able to do some of this stuff together too, if you're interested. Let me just double check a few things. Some people were saying about the audio, so I cranked it up. So there you go. It's nice and loud, peeking out there. But anyway, we have a private investigator. This is Bond Investigations. What we're going to be looking at today is he has multiple locations. Bond Investigations is a private investigator. So this great guy, with that being said, what we're looking at here is he has the website, built out the website. There he is right there, Dorian, great guy. What we're going to look at here today is we want to take a look at his multiple locations. See, he wants to branch out. He's from Arizona. He wants to start branching out into other states. More importantly, he wants to start targeting other cities. So what we're going to talk about today is how can Dorian, right, this private investigator, and this could potentially help you, how should we start structuring this? Because when we start looking at this website, we have to convey not only to our users, but also to Google that, hey, we have depth of concept. So what I want to lay out for you today is, and for Dorian, of course, is we're going to take a look at the site. We're going to take a look at the deficits. We're going to put into motion a small plan. I'm just going to do a few layouts and he'll be able to take it from there. And then I'll also give him a plan on how we can start utilizing this blog in order to build out more depth of concept, right? How we can build even more depth. So this way we can get more relevance on a topic. You can call it whatever you want, but it's depth of concept in a particular category based on a service that we provide. All right. So what we want to do is we want to take a look at the site. The site runs fast. Him and I already spoke this morning. And I mentioned that, hey, we're going to talk about a couple things today. A few things that I want to point out for him that I would like to, that I definitely want here, I'll make this a little bit bigger, that I would like him to focus on are going to be the site structure. All right. So the next thing is going to be the footer, and then we're going to talk about the blog section. All right. So let's worry about the, let's get this down pat first. So first and foremost, we have the homepage. So the homepage, looking at this particular page, we can see that the title, we're talking about private detectives and investigations in U.S. Bond Investigations, right? So the name of the brand is Bond Investigations. So first and foremost, just looking at this, this is absolutely phenomenal, but please, Dorian and whoever's watching, heading tags are for optimization. So we want to make sure that we keep our optimizations within the heading tags. All right. Now, with that being said, when we're talking about the homepage is to emphasize, look at the homepage as almost like the about us. Let's emphasize who we are, what we do, and where we're at. Now, when we're looking at the heading tags, the optimization zones, whatever you want to look at it, zones, heading tags, optimization points, whatever, however you want to look at it or understand it for yourself, we want to keep main keywords out of there. Why? So we're not competing with ourselves. All right. So when we're taking a look at this, we can come in here and we want to stick with what's the name of the brand? Bond Investigations. All right. So this is we could do bond investigations, detective and investigation. And we want to stick with this throughout the H tags, the title tag. And then if you want to, you can list these types of elements down in here, like the contact us, this type of stuff that's not optimized. You can keep in heading tags, but heading tags aren't for sizing. Heading tags are for optimization. Just note, homepage is about the brand, who you are, what you do, and where you're at. If you're going to use a keyword on the homepage, do not stick it into an H tag. All right? The only thing we want in H tags on this homepage is bond investigations. Let's talk about internal pages because this is a multi-site, multi-state website that wants to target states and also cities. So let's take a look at this. So we can see up here that his primary services are alimony, background investigations, business investigations, and he does all of these different types of investigations. And this is great. This is wonderful. Now, the problem that I'm seeing here, all right, is that he's basing the head, and I see this a lot, he's putting the base or the primary, he's putting all of his services under the word service. Now, when we come over here to service, because this is a top level page, right? Because this is a top level, when we come here, all of this, yes, is investigations, but they're all their own. They deserve their own category. And if they don't make enough money, or if they don't produce enough dollars for you as a business owner, then why are we even allocating time or resource towards it? Because the 1 or 2 a year might come in and make the phone ring? What I would highly suggest, if we're going to allocate time, resource, money, mental resource towards something, let's make sure it's worth it. Because the site is going to be built around the services that we provide. In this case, we're doing alimony, background check, business investigations, criminal defense, elder abuse, and then it's service times location. Now, in this instance, we have all of these, almost every single state here. In fact, we do have every single state here. And then to make it even more fun, we want to add in different cities. Generally, there's anywhere between 10 to 30 cities that will have the population that you want to target. It's going to actually be competition. We like to make our lives fun. Of course, we're going to go for the hardest places. Why wouldn't we? Right? I agree. I think you should. Right? Either go hard, go big, or go home, right? But with that being said, if we're going to have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 services, 50 states, that's 50 times 30, we have to get our depth of concept correct. So here's what I would highly recommend for this particular case, all right? When we come over to services, you can have services, but more importantly, this services page, just because it's inside of a main header, it doesn't mean that it actually has to be a page. You know, you can create a drop-down or in a drop-down menu inside of Elementor. I believe that's what this gentleman's using. You can make that just a word and then have the drop-down. It doesn't have to be an actual page, okay? So with that being said, we can have our drop-down, and you could call it services if you want. But inside of here, if we're doing alimony investigation, see how it says services alimony investigations? What we want to do is we want to start building our depth of concept here. So we start with the primary keyword. We're doing alimony investigations, all right? I don't know if that's the best keyword. This is what this particular business owner has decided. So if that's what you want to target, then we're going to start with alimony investigations. Then as we start building our other pages, we do alimony investigations where? Well, on our alimony investigations, we want to do in our states. So it's going to be alimony investigations in the state, right? We have state level. And then we do the alimony investigations in the particular location. To put this into practice, let's take a look at this. Let me just see what we have going on. So he's built out one silo, but he has 11 services, you see? So he's building out the silos for private investigator and detective, because investigator and detective go hand in hand. He explained this to me. He wants to target both of them. Fine. It's perfectly fine. But when we have all of these other services, if they deserve their own page, they need their own page. If we want to target it, it needs to have its own page. So let's go back over here. We want to make sure we have alimony investigations. When we're on the alimony investigations page, if you take a look at how he's building these out here, let me just show you guys something. So when I come over here to Arizona, all right, let me see here. See, it's
private investigator. Get in touch with
okay, that's fine. I'm not a fan of the auto start, but that's completely up to you. But let me see here. When you scroll down here, I believe, let me see if he has the section here. I think he said that he started building them out. Let me see if he did it in one of these states. Let me see here. Where did you start building this out at, my friend? Did you do it in California? Let's go to California and see. Because I want to point something out. California. Do you have a California page? You do. So then on the California page, you should list all the different areas. See, this is a small problem, my friend. Okay. So there's no interlinking, or manageable interlinking, I should say. I know that he's utilizing a tool for internal linking, but it has to be easy to add and take away, right? Because there needs to be a way to manage it. Plus, on top of that, if I can make a manageable section, like say a menu of some sort that I can add to the internal of the page, I can also add that same menu to my blog section, because we're going to talk about that in a section here, or in a second here. 1 second here. Let me see if I can get, I'm looking for the section where I thought I saw he put locations. All right. I do not see where he put the locations at. Sorry to see that. All right. Well, all right. He's got a lot of work on his hands. So let's keep with this. So we have our locations. Most notably, we're going to talk about, you have your alimony investigations. Are you live changing this while I'm doing this? Oh, I love it. That is so fun. Dude, that's great. All right. Okay. When I click on alimony investigations, it's taking me over here to this. Like, look at this current structure that he has. Okay. This is too much. It's got locations / California private investigator / locations, Los Angeles private investigator detective / services / alimony investigations. Top level page is always going to be the service. All right. So let's just talk about this briefly. All right. If we know that the top level page is going to be alimony investigations is the service, then we want to have, here, I'm just going to draw this out for you. Copy. Then we're going to have alimony investigations, pick your state. Okay. So we're on the state page. Then then we can do our alimony investigations. We have state. You can do if you want to. You don't have to write it out. You could just write the state name. I like to spell it out, but it's completely up to you. And then you want to have your city. All right. See, oftentimes when I talk to people, they'll say, oh man, this is a really long URL. See, the issue here is yes, when people say that, I think they're misinformed, because granted, they are looking at the URL, but you have to remember that each one of these folders, each one of these directories is the URL that Google is associating with the particular page. So when they're talking about not having a long URL, just like with their name, hey, you don't want to have a long name. Why? Because look, this would be short, right? Bond investigations would be still considered long. Like Chris Palmer is short, right? Alimony investigations, this is short. Alimony investigations plus the state name, that's still pretty short. Not as short as just the state, but you could still get away with it. Why? Because it's in this directory. It's in this particular folder, however you want to look at it. So if you stack the words in there, because we know Google will they're going to look at the URL, they're going to look at the title, they're going to look at the H1, they're going to look at the optimization of the page, starting with the URL. So, but they're looking at this particular folder right here, the page that they're on, that's what they're focused on. So we want to make sure we get the keyword in there because that's step number one, get it in the URL, right? So it's up to you if you want to keep it. If you want to repeat it multiple times, it's completely up to you. Some people don't like that, but I assure you, I have multiple projects in other niches where we're doing homes, we're looking for boats, we're looking for planes, mobile homes. We stack them and we do very, very well. Never have any issues, okay? It's completely up to you, though. Anyway, let's move on. So let me go ahead and grab this for you. So we want to keep the structure looking like this, all right? So depth of concept. So we're going to have our home pages here, all right? We're going to have our primary service page here, all right? And I can even write this out for you just so you're on the same page. So it's going to be the home page, all right? Then you're going to have your top level page, top level, or you can call it a keyword page. All right, completely up to you. See? Then you were going to have our state level. All right, so this could be state level, state, and then you're going to have city. Okay, plus city. And this is how we're going to start building depth. All right, and this is what I would recommend. Now, if alimony investigations isn't worth you building out all of these pages and building out the depth to target the states and the cities, maybe alimony investigations could be covered in divorce investigations. Maybe I can combine them both into one page because maybe alimony and divorce only have 30 search volume each, but when we combine them together, it's actually worth something. Plus, when I search for divorce investigation or alimony investigation, Google gives me the same results. All right. This is the part that you're going to have to do on your side. And this is generally what people will pay to have done for them. Like, hey, you figure it out. You take care of it. Right. Because, hey, do they compete with each other? Should I only target one? Do I need to combine them? And this might be different for you and your services, but you have to do that math, that equation beforehand. You have to do that research beforehand. Okay. Anyway, now that we understand what the depth should look like, starting with your home page, this is going to be the full thing. But here, let's do home. All right, so now we've built out depth in a particular category. Each of your services deserve their own category built just like this. Okay, you have your home page, home plus keyword plus state, home plus keyword plus state plus city. All right. Now we want to build more depth. Let's talk about the blog. All right. Actually, since I put it here secondly, let's move right to the footer. Now, when we're looking at this, see, you have unused space down here. All right. We're not allowing Google and or our users to have any information to be able to help find information. Plus, you have to note, the more internal links that I can point to pages that are important to me, that's the more pages that Google is going to see as important to you, right? Internal links equals the priority in which you feel that a page is. So if I point a bunch of links internally to a particular page, Google's like, wow, this page is important. Generally, most people are pointing all their internal links back to the homepage. It has the majority of the internal links, right? But you need to change that. We need to get the majority of the links to the top level pages. In this particular instance, what we're looking at here is our top level pages. It's always going to be your service. Doesn't matter if you're a chiropractor, doesn't matter if you're a lawyer. For instance, if you're a lawyer, your practice areas, that's your top level page. yourwebsite.com/personal injury, /car accident lawyer, /truck accident, /brain injury, right? Chiropractor, website.com/chiropractor, right? That's going to be your top level page. Or /sciatica, /lower back pain, Get it? You're a plumber. Great. Website.com/plumber. That's going to be your primaries. Then you're going to do / what? Drains, / clogs, / leaky whatever. You're a roof. Great. We do installation. We do repair. These are going to be your top, whatever your service is, that's your top level page. Okay, you with me? Great. Let's move on. Now let's talk about our footer. How can we help Google understand what is most important? This is through internal linking, okay? So what you want to do here is down in here in the footer, we want to take all of our services. In this case, you have 11, and you want to include some of your main things. The main things that I'm talking about is you want to stack your services, okay? Have the list of your services, the top level service page. In this particular instance, this page right here, the alimony investigations. I want to send an internal link to that top level page. If you're only a one state, then fine, send it to that state page. In this case, we're going national, right? So what we're going to put here is we're going to put our top level page. Now, why would we do that? Because that top level page could be national. We also are targeting specific states, and then we're targeting specific cities. See, we're putting the pieces in place, and then we're targeting the terms that we can actually win today. See, I'm going to put the top level in place knowing that, hey, it's going to be a year before I win this term, but I guarantee you I can win alimony in Florida, right? You get what I'm saying? So you're going to put everything in place like you're going to be the winner, because you will be, as long as you can, you know, stay on board long enough and stay focused long enough and keep the right mindset, right? That's really, at the end of the day, that's what it is. People generally run out of steam or run out of money. As long as you can stay focused long enough, you'll reach the finish line. But while we're waiting, we need to make money today. So you target these states and you target the cities. So set yourself up for success from the beginning. Go down to the footer and you want to stack in your services. I already wrote it, of course. Put your about, put your sitemap, HTML sitemap, contact, privacy, compliancy. You grammar guys can get me later. Privacy, compliancy, HTML, the sitemap, the about us, your services. And when I write services, don't just put services in there. No, list your services out. How many do you have, right? Even if you're a personal injury lawyer, how many practice areas are you hitting? Are you hitting 20? Make the font small. Stick them down there. We have to get internal links site-wide going to the primary pages that matter. It's up to you. I'm trying to put you in the best position. You want to make sure you list your services, the about, sitemap, HTML sitemap, contact, privacy, compliancy, cookie, GDRP. All right. If there's any little thing that I missed, add that in there too. If there's any, I call these filler pages. If there's any filler page that you want to get in there, go ahead and get it in there. Any of these compliancy pages or filler pages, nonsense pages that just have to be there in order to convey that we're a real site, put them in there. All right. But these are generally the ones that you want to stick in there. Let's move on. Again, stack the services. All right. So when we're down here in this bottom piece here, let's not waste this. Let's jack up our internal link flow. Stack your services in here, put the sizes relatively small, and then put your filler pages down there also. All right. Now let's move into our blog section. And this is where we could start building more depth. Now, there's two ways to do this. All right. See, currently what you're doing is you're building all the relevance to the word blog. Okay. I love you, right? Your family loves you. Your clients love you. But new people don't even know your name, right? So the probability of somebody looking for bond investigations blog, highly unlikely, right? But people could be looking for investigator tips or something to do with being a private investigator, right? On this private investigator page, you optimize your blog page that's around a big high volume keyword. You optimize that page as if it's a regular page, because it is. However, it's really just a housing page for all of your other blogs. You see, up at the top, you're going to optimize the page and create your blog targeting a regular keyword, whatever's really high volume and really big. Because as your site comes to age and as you start gaining authority, you will start ranking for these things. But also, we want to build a place to house all of our blogs that are actually there to support our main ideas. And here's how you do it. All right. So this is fine. I would change the word blog to something that's actually going to be fruitful and that's something hard to achieve, right? A big keyword, right? Something with a lot of volume. Just like you're doing here, this is phenomenal. This is great. These who, these what, this where, how, when, like who, what, when, why, where, how, great. And like I mentioned before, you have two ways to do it. You can either build out all of your questionnaire questions to the top level page, right? What I mean by this is you can answer all of the questions going to the top level. Again, if this is the top level page, all right, top level is another word for service, primary service, something I want to rank for. You either have the ability to build your blogs here like this. What is a alimony investigation? See, you can build the blog and put it in the structure to support the main topic like this, right? So then when I'm on this blog and I click on this right here, you know, let's say it's this one. How much does it cost to hire a private investigator? All right, let's switch this around to our example. All right, to make it word for word a support, just like we're doing this, but we're doing it for alimony investigator. See, when I'm on this blog and I click on this article, see, when I click this, it's going right to the root, right? Instead, what you want to do is you want to build it in the structure to convey to Google that it's actually supporting content. We want to do that in the structure. It's supporting the content. It's a subdirectory of the primary directory. We do this through structuring and also internal linking. So what you want to do is, instead of it going flat, it's not there to support bond investigations. No, it's supporting our service. Why? Because I want to rank the service page. I don't want to rank the homepage. The homepage is for brand, and yes, that's going to develop and build tons of traffic. Actually, 60% of your traffic as time progresses. People are going to start looking for you. But to start, I need to rank for the primary search terms, right? So in order to do that, I have to build depth of concept, topical relevance, right? Right, exactly. So in order to do this, we're going to put it inside the structure and internally link up to the primary page. Okay, so how you're going to do this is you're going to build your top level page, and then you're going to put in how much does it cost to hire an alimony investigator. And that's one way to do it. Now, for those of us that want to get completely insane and be obsessed and like, hey, we're coming in here to win and we have a lot of money, right? The other way to do it, which, hey, I'm not saying one way is better than the other. I think they should both be executed on, but not from the beginning, because it gets overwhelming and it's too much work. You start cannibalizing, you got to re-optimize, you got to build links. There's a lot to do. So to start, we want to build to the top level. But as time progresses, it's going to be in your best interest to start building this way. All right. You might want to, here, edit, undo, copy. The better way of doing it as time progresses, not at first, please don't do this to yourself, is you want to do state, city. All right. You may want to build how much does it cost to hire an alimony investigator in LA, right? And then we're going to build it right to the city level. But you don't have to stop there. You can silo off your informational content, your supporting content, just like you do your service pages and your sub-service pages. You can build it the same way. All right. Then when you're building out your blog section, this list, like, you can make it say whatever you want. It's in the housing page. When you click it, nobody's Nobody's coming into your site, going to your blog and looking for articles about this. They're searching for a search phrase and finding the blog online, right? That's how the majority of people are getting traffic for their blogs, right? They may stumble into it from the website, but the majority of people are doing a search term and your blog ranks. So why not just structure it to set yourself up for success and to power your top level pages? I highly recommend it, all right? With that being said, that takes care of blog. We took care of the footer. We took care of the structuring, all right? I've mentioned the blog section, how you create your supporting, how to set up your footer, and then how to build depth of concept for a primary service and how to align your services, all right? Now, the last thing that I want to point out here is, actually, I think that ought to wrap it up for today's video. That's multi-location, all right? Here, I'll answer a few questions, and then I'm out of here, okay? Let's see if you guys have any questions about anything, and then we're out of here. Hello, sir. Humble request going somewhere. Kindly give me simple question answer. If you want to rank in just UK, then server matters. Should we host our website in UK for better rankings? The long story short of that answer is yes. Does it matter? No. Will you put yourself in the best success if you have a code.uk domain and it's hosted in the UK? Yes. Can you rank having a US server in a .com? Of course you can. But if you want to guarantee success, yes, start with a server that's in the UK and have a .uk domain. Okay? All right. Uma Strategic, hello Chris, hello to you. TJ Bowman, what's up homie, what's up to you? Moonlight, hey, I'm new here from Pakistan learning SEO. Awesome. So that wraps it up for today. Local SEO tips, how to rank multiple locations on Google in 2024. My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. That's going to wrap it up. I'll probably take this video down, chop it up into shorts, and also into another section. So hopefully this has been helpful. Thank you for your time. Many blessings, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.